a special episode of Green Diesel because I have Nathan Buchanan right here. Nathan Buchanan is the founder of Echelon Entity, and like Artparel, why don't you tell us about your vision that got that started?
Well, first, thank you for
Yes.
having me on this Green Diesel
Right, thank you.
channel. It's my first podcast
Mhm.
I've ever been on or done. And the reason for me starting Echelon Entity was to help people like you.
Okay.
Really, you're just like me. Small people, don't have any name anywhere. Nobody knows us. But we want to not only have our own businesses, but also affect the community positively.
Right.
The only way to really do that is by starting a business and affecting the community positively. So the way to do that is by, in my opinion, since I am good at making logos and branding, I decided to help other people with their businesses, which will help me with mine.
Yes. Right.
So if I give you designs and you use them and your business is successful, then people are going to inevitably ask you, where'd you get that design from?
Right.
And then you're going to tell them, oh man, this guy hooked me up.
Right.
That's my entity. He hooks up everybody.
Yes.
So then not only will I be successful, but I'll also be helping everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it. Pretty much it. It's just like basically, it goes back to who God is, really. Do you know who God is?
I have a general idea.
So who do you think God is?
He's like an everyman. He's like Krishna or Shiva
Mm-hmm.
or Allah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All of these archetypes are like probably
Right.
a strong guy, right? Big guy.
But God is like universally, everybody can tell you God is in us. God is in us all.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So God is a part of all of us.
Right.
So therefore, all of us are a part of God.
Right.
Right. So it can also be said that collectively we are God.
Yes.
Boom. So that is what the truth is. The truth that the Vatican has been hiding in their vaults forever is that humanity is God, simply put. So there was an original human, original man, who originated order. Like officially, we're going to be organized now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason why the measurement of a foot is the foot of a king is because the man, the philosopher, God, was the first one to establish that measurement. Feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. So God used his genius, his wisdom, to help humanity. So that's what our purpose is as humans, is to be like God and use our genius to help humanity. If we do that, and everybody does that, then we will be living in heaven.
Yeah, I would agree.
Period.
Yeah.
Point blank. If everybody was
Right.
right, everybody did what they know is right, not what you think is right or you have to find out what's right. You know not to kill nobody. You know not to hurt nobody because you don't want that done to you.
Right.
Simple as that. Like Jesus said, the golden rule still applies. God is everything. Still, everything is true. Still have to be good. God is good all the time. All that stuff is true. But the reality is that we all collectively are God. When you do good, you are godly. You're God's right hand. You are a part of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is goodness. So when you do things in a good spirit, you are indeed possessed by the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So when people, are good people like yourself, and they want to help others, but they're like find themselves confused about the purpose of life. I mean, only through my own personal journey have I come to understand who God is.
Right.
And why it makes sense that what has always been said about God. It is written. Every time you pray to God, no matter what religion you in, they say amen. And people don't really know what that word means, and they say, oh, it just means that we're paying homage to God. No, it's because God's a man. God was a man with a great idea. So great that possibly aliens from outer space came to learn about love. To learn about God's love. It's possible.
Yeah.
But either way, God was not the celestial being that is ruling over us for eternity. It is just his ideas that are here for eternity. That's why in John 17:3 it says, this means everlasting life, to take in knowledge of you, the only true God, which is mankind, taking the true knowledge of mankind and the one whom you sent forth, Jesus Christ, which emphasized the fact that we need to love each other as we love ourselves. And that's the answer to all the problems of the world. It's really quite simple. But people are too greedy. All these companies, Nike, everybody, could be doing exactly what I'm doing.
Right.
But they're not, because they're greedy.
Yes. And you went out your way to pick manufacturers who care, right, about their employees and stuff that you think is made decently, right?
Well, mainly I tried to make sure it's not made in a sweatshop.
Yeah.
And that the stuff is made from recycled fibers.
Okay.
So that everything is working with everything. Right? So, but I also made it so my brands are comparable and are able to be worn with something you already know is fashionable. Like Nike or North Face or Adidas or any of that stuff.
Right.
So it's just a way for me to make money and to have the money give back to the world.
Yes.
That's how you serve God, because by serving God, you're serving your fellow man. That's indeed how you serve God. Not just giving stuff to the homeless, but providing the way for a homeless man to come out of homelessness and provide for himself.
And that's part of the vision you were talking about, because you were thinking on a larger scale than just you, and when you're funded, this stuff will blow up, right?
Well, the thing is that, right, so like once people start buying the products, automatically the money starts getting made. So then I can use the money to employ the people that I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
Simple as that. It's not like I'm going to be giving money away no. I'm going to be building factories in places like Chicago, Detroit, Tacoma, so that those people benefit directly from the success of the businesses. Because that's where the success is needed.
Yes.
I understand it's probably not the most economical place to build a warehouse, but so what? If you're making money, you have the money to do so.
Yes.
Like, I understand people want to live luxuriously. I enjoy living luxuriously, but I think that everyone should be given the chance to work hard enough to live luxuriously, not just the chance to work hard. Because a lot of people work hard, live luxuriously.
Right.
I just wish that there was a way, instead of getting a bank loan, you would just have a bank believe in you.
Right.
Like, yeah, you're a hard worker, bro. I see your record. Yeah, you can start your own mechanic shop. We'll own 49% of it, and you'll own 51%.
Yes.
If it doesn't work, you can take the thing back, and then have someone else run it.
Yes.
But he'll still get his percentage because he came up with the original idea to do whatever it is. It's just that simple. Everybody deserves to be living well, and everybody's scared about technology. A lot of people say, not everybody. I shouldn't say that. The younger generation is really, they know what's up, but people my age and older are scared of technology like it's the devil. The technology is God. It's God knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when you use it for evil, like they often do, that's when the devil comes into play.
Right.
But if we use the technology that we have just to build and help each other, we would already not only know how to go to space, we'd already been to space, we'd already be not hungry, not starving, and without disease. Because diseases, in fact, are caused by man taking animals' diseases and transferring them over to humans to try to manipulate the population so that they will always be in control.
Yes, that's been, documented.
I mean, all natural disasters are because of our experimentation with trying to manipulate nature. All natural disasters are caused by man trying to manipulate nature. They've already gone to the center of the earth. They already know. They already are messing with. That's why global warming is real. They're messing with all this stuff, but they don't want us to know because that would make us not only horrified, but we'd realize how evil that these motherfucking governments are.
Yes.
Because they're working together to do all this shit.
Right.
Like they knew China was experimenting with this shit. Everybody knew it.
Yes.
They just didn't want us to know.
Right.
It's just like, if they were just working on solving the real problems of the world instead of creating diseases, that's ridiculous, bro. But it just goes to show you what the world is made. The King proved it, Malcolm X proved it, Jesus proved it, and God proved it. as years pass, thousands of years pass, Malcolm X will be considered more of a deity rather than a person, because he's a great person.
Yes.
But God was the first one. That's why there's only one God. But there's many gods now because people are using his techniques, which is language and mathematics. As soon as we were able to talk and communicate, it changed the whole game.
Yes.
Well, now I can plan, I can build, I can tell somebody else to build something from miles away.
Right.
Just by giving them information. Animals haven't figured that out yet, but they're going to, over thousands of years of evolution, they're going to eventually come across communication as well.
Yes.
But if we are continuing to kill each other while they're evolving, they're going to destroy us like Planet of the Apes. It's going to be just like that. It just might not be apes. It might be bears and lions. Mm-hmm. But they're going to, I mean, we're doing too much damage. We could be doing way more things to help each other.
Yes.
Like everybody could be doing something.
Yes.
But instead of saying that, it's up to me to do that myself.
Right.
Because you can only lead by an example.
Yeah.
Like I hate when people talk we need to stop being racist, and they're a racist. Like stop. Just stop. You stop being a racist, and then people will see that you are better, and they will want to know how you got better. Mm-hmm. And they might ask you, but you don't give pearls to swine.
Right.
So just do you.
Yeah.
The purpose of life is to master yourself. Simple and plain. So master yourself, and use that mastery of yourself to help others, like Bruce Lee and everybody else who ever mastered themselves has always done. But it's just like a secret that, like, there's that little missing piece people aren't told to master themselves. Whatever you want to do, focus on that and do it. If you want to paint rocks the best you can. Start a business and sell them and call them pet rocks. It's a dumb idea, but it's a great business. So that means anybody can do anything. If you can sell a pet rock, bro, you can sell anything. Mm-hmm. And that shit still goes now. I seen a pet rock the other day in Seattle. It's a different meaning for it now. It's like supposed to be promoting peace or whatever, or love or whatever. It's beautiful. Somebody is still making money off of painting rocks.
Right.
Like that's feeding somebody's family, bro. In Arizona or New Mexico or wherever the fuck they started that at. But that kind of shit is that's what humans are supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be creating. God was a creator, and we are made in his image. So we are supposed to be creating, inventing new ways to solve problems. So we have less problems. So that it will be true that there will be no more pain, no more, you know what I'm saying? The Bible is true. It's just not the way that it's not just going to be one person that just alleviates it. It's all of us working together that have to do this.
Right. And
Jesus' return is when we realize Jesus is us. G is us. Jesus is in us. We have to be good. We have to stop being the devils in the world. If you see somebody being evil, stop them. It's kind of simple. Yeah. Somebody beating their wife or their child or whatever, you don't have to call it DHS or whatever. Just say something to them. You're going to beat your kid like that in public? That's fucking horrible, bro. So I'm calling the police on you right now. Mm-hmm. Like, don't have to be secretive about what's right. But that's what the devil or the evil that men do have caused us to think.
Yeah.
I mean, that it's been argued that money was created to create that power. That separation, that further separation between classes. So that evil could, reign over good. But either way it goes.
Yes.
Good people can take over the control of money through the same kind of way I'm doing it, by helping other good people establish businesses.
Right. Yes. We could all, those of us that are visionaries, could all use a little extra money, more money. And when we make that vision, which usually happens if you're a visionary and you put the work in, it's beautiful, right?
Right. Yeah. And it's just like, let's just say for instance, just you and me. If I don't do as good as I want to do, but you end up blowing up, Quantum Books becomes fucking the best bookstore, bigger than fucking, what's the biggest bookstore out here?
Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble. Bigger than Barnes & Noble. Yeah. You get bigger than Barnes & Noble. So then I come to you later, like, hey, would you like to do a podcast with me? And then you're doing a podcast with me makes me fucking go and blow up to where my business starts flourishing. It's that kind of thing that I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like that kind of attitude of, since I have so much, I should now decide who I'm gonna help
Right.
get their shit on.
Mhm.
Like it's the same way wrestlers and musicians and actors get put on. Like if you wanted to be successful in acting, then you would be in the movie with Denzel Washington. Of course, that's easier said than done, but that's really what you want to do.
Mhm.
If you want to be good at something or known for being good at something, you want to be next to someone who's already known for being good at it. So if I or anybody else gets power, and you see it sometimes with people like Jay-Z and they do stuff like that, where they put somebody else on, like how he put on Kanye and all that stuff. It's the same thing. You want to, once you have any kind of power, you want to use it for good. So now you see potential in other people that nobody else is able to notice because they're little people. You bring them all with you. Yes, of course, you'll benefit from it too, but that's the point of it. You're supposed to benefit from benefiting other people. So that's the motivation to benefit other people. That's part of it. Like, yes, if we all were rich, then we would all be rich.
Right.
That's the glory of it. If I make you rich, then there's 2 rich people. So if you make someone else rich, that's 3 rich people. So then if I start going broke, 2 rich people can help me.
Yes.
And that's the everybody did that, then everybody would be rich. Oh, you need a car? That's cool. We got 6 of them. Here's 1. No problem. Boom. But people are too greedy. They're like, I have 10 cars, I'm gonna get 11. That's sad you don't have a car. It sucks for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just unfortunate. But you have to decide to be different yourself. Because you can't expect anybody to do anything because everybody has the right to do whatever. You're allowed to be selfish. It's allowed. You're allowed. God never made rules. He made principles. We made them rules. You're allowed to be a dirtbag. But like the Bible says, as for me and my household, we will do what is right. This is just a choice. You don't have to be around dirty people. This world is way too big for you to think you have to be around crazy people. You don't.
Yeah.
You just have to make your own way.
Right.
And that's easier said than done. It is.
Right.
Could you hand me that ashtray?
Okay.
But yeah, it's just you know, it came to me. I was in jail for traffic tickets, and I was like, what if I was in jail for something for real, like murder or something, and I was never getting out. My son's never gonna have a dad. He's never gonna know how to run a business, or not for me at least. He's not gonna be able to have that life, and that'd be my fault because I did this. And it could have happened to me while I had traffic tickets. Could have ended up stabbing somebody or something and got locked up for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's what made me think, what can I do to start a business that not only would help me in that situation, but would help anybody in that situation. So that's why I started my nonprofit. At first I was going to start a whole bunch of businesses and then start a nonprofit for all the businesses to contribute to. But then a lawyer told me you could just start a nonprofit and start the other businesses from the nonprofit. And then all the money will go to the nonprofit.
Right.
And apparently there's a lot of businesses that do that.
Mm-hmm. And you have some certain maybe exemptions and maybe some benefits to being a nonprofit as well, or?
I mean, the basic benefit, the biggest benefit is that you don't have to pay taxes.
Right.
You get to operate as a regular business, but you don't have to pay taxes. Because the purpose of your business is to benefit society.
Yes.
Or to praise God.
Yes.
So that's the secret. They don't really want to tell people, but that's why they like Christians and people of any religion that are true to religion. Because religion is just a word, first of all. That means what you do every day. Because what you do every day is what you do religiously. So in reality, what you do every day is what you do. Is your religion. Like for me, smoking a blunt is a part of my religion. Because I do this every day.
Yeah.
Exercising, part of my religion. Trying to do right, part of my religion. But to say that, you know, I'm a Buddhist or something like that, that would be wrong. I don't practice any of that.
Yeah.
But same thing with people that say that they're Catholic or Christians. They don't ritualistically practice that stuff every day. Some of them don't, but they still say they're whatever. You are who you are. So what you actually do every day is what you do religiously. What is it?
Okay. Sure. Thanks.
But yeah, it's just one of them things. Like, I just realized it from there being so much falseness in religion. Like I had to identify what the falseness really was, because it's not the religious belief, because the religions generally have a good purpose. All religions generally have a good purpose. And it's just that they get adulterated by the people in those religions who get greedy. Even Satanism is not really a bad religion. Like, it's just the opposite of Christianity, but it still has principles and morals and stuff.
Yeah, it's just sort of a branch of like paganism.
Yeah. It's just not giving a fuck about all the shit that Christians care about. Like, you know what? I don't have to be fucking with one woman. The fuck?
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There only became something wrong with that when somebody said there was something wrong with that. But that was really just God's suggestion to not take more than one wife for yourself. Mm-hmm. He told Solomon that. Solomon wanted wisdom. Still God perceived him as the wisest man who ever lived. But if you really think about it, second to Jesus, of course, but if you think about it, Solomon being the wisest man who ever lived, by considered that by God, is meaning he was considered that by the people who were alive at that time. Because that's who God is. God is people, the people. So when you think of all these things in context like that, then you makes it clear. Like, Jesus was the wisest man who ever lived because he didn't need riches to be realized that he was rich already. Solomon was king, so he needed riches to be a good king, but then he just eventually just was a rich ass motherfucker. Mm-hmm. He died not serving God. It says this in the Bible. What that means is, it doesn't mean that he didn't treasure people, but his purpose of life was no longer to serve God, which is serving the people. He was a king, so originally he was serving the people. When he died, he was no longer serving the people or serving God. Mm-hmm. That's all that means. People think of it, oh, he was a pagan worshiper. He was. He built many temples for his wives for them to worship their gods. But he knew who God was. He was given the knowledge to be wise. And the knowledge I speak of is the knowledge of the Eastern philosophies, of Islam, of all of that. They know who God is. I self am Lord and Master. Arm, leg, arm, head. It all points to you being in control of yourself. You are the ultimate decider of what is next for you. Yes, other people can try to destroy you. They can introduce you to temptations, but only you can destroy yourself. By giving up is when you have been destroyed. If you're not haven't given up, then you haven't been destroyed. Right? And your mind is the last thing you have. So you can be a quadriplegic, like what's that one great mind of our time? Forgot his name, but he's fucking quadriplegic.
Superman, right?
Or, you know what I'm talking about? But you know what I'm talking about. It's a real dude. Forgot his name, but he's a genius. And he walks around in a wheelchair and he does everything, steers with his mouth and all that shit. Right? But he hasn't given up. That's the only reason why he's not something less of a man. You could say he's a shell of himself, but he's not. He's a genius still, and he comes up with great things for the world. Still.
Christopher Reeve or what?
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. Okay. Yeah. Isn't he recently passed?
He might have, but he will never die.
Yeah.
Because his ideas will live forever. That's how you live forever. That's why the Bible says that. Yeah. That's why God is always going to live forever. That's why Jesus is now God, because now we know that if you love each other as yourself, which was the new thing Jesus brought to us, that's now covers over all those rules and all those principles that were given to us before. Because now we know how to write, we know how to read, we know how to do math, we know how to build. So we don't need to do. That was the original lesson that we learned, was how to be civilized. We learned that now. So now we need to learn how to be loving. Not like fake loving, but really loving. Like, we're all family for real.
Yes.
You're really my brother from thousands of different generations difference. But you're really my brother. Like, all this racial tension is just a family feud. All of it is just a family feud. Us arguing over semantics is really anti-Semitism.
Yes. But
that's what anti-Semitism is, really. It's us arguing about who God is. God is all of our Father. Simple as that. We all know what's right and wrong because we have been taught. It has been written. God is I am. I cause to be. He is you. He is in you. Jesus. It's written all over everything. The number one problem we have, Islamics will tell you, is accepting who we are. We're having every war is caused because of who God is, but we are all related. We're all brothers and sisters, and God is just our Father. That's why we say God the Father. So we're just fighting over our inheritance, which is just knowledge, because God didn't create money. He created the knowing and understanding of things.
Yeah, so it does divide us, but it also serves to like...
Once you understand how money works, it can unite us. Because you're supposed to use it, like I'm going to be using it, to help other people. It's a tool for escape, not a tool for slavery.
Yes. Like if it's used properly.
Right, but it's been used to enslave.
Yes.
Because the person who realized the way it can be used was like, I want to stay on top of this. I want my family to stay on top of this. I want to stay. It's like if Bernie Madoff, would have just let the shit keep going. Then he would be the devil. Mm-hmm. Shit he did was devilish. Yes. But the reason why he changed his mind at the end was like, fuck it, we're going to stop this, was because he honestly felt bad. Mm-hmm. There's no other reason, because they keep saying we would have never known if he would have never told us. If his sons would have kept that shit going, we would still be praying to the NASDAQ gods now. He just was like, damn, this is fucked up. His whole brothers, all of them were involved. But they didn't know shit about it. Get the fuck out of here. He just took the fall and he was dying anyway. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. And he died at 80 something, so he was already 70 something when he turned himself in or something like that. Bro, come on. You lived life already. But you didn't really, because you were stressed out the whole time.
Yes. Worrying if you were going to get caught. Yeah.
That's not happiness. His family was happy, and I think that's why his son killed himself, was because, fuck, Dad, you let all that money go. We could have been fucking living good. Now everybody knows we're fakes and shit. Yes. That's why I think that one son killed himself, because he couldn't handle the truth.
Right. Yeah. I mean, investments in general, the way securities work and investments work, like you're betting against someone else most of the time, or you're betting against yourself some of the time, and it's sort of a game.
The whole thing is a hustle. I mean, insurance, all that shit is a hustle.
It is.
It's a beautiful hustle. And insurance was, again, another thing designed to help us that also benefited the insurance company, or the man who had initiated insurance, which was Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, yes, okay.
Benjamin Franklin invented insurance. He invented it. Fire department was the first insurance. It was fire insurance. You guys give me money, there's a fire, we'll have the money for us to put together a team of people to put it out. And we have a routine of how to put out a fire now. Because back in the day, people had fires, it was just up to you to put your fire out.
Yes.
Or the community would help you, they'd bring buckets and shit. Then they started forming the line of buckets. The fire department had the line of buckets from the well to your house. It's fucking crazy, but that's how shit started out.
Yeah.
But fire department was the first insurance. Fire insurance was the first insurance.
Yeah, I could see that. That's true.
But Benjamin Franklin was also part of many elite societies, so he knew who God was too. Long story short. He knew God was us.
Yeah, I guess if you read
a lot of these guys, Disney, all these guys, people who are Masons, people who are all them, they all know this secret. That we are God. That's why they try to do stuff to help the world and change it secretly.
Yes.
Because gangsters move in silence. They learned that originally from the original gangster, who was God. Mm-hmm. He was the one who had originally assembled people to do certain things. He executed his judgment on people. Fuck, I don't like what that dude's doing, guys. Let's go take care of that dude. Fuck that. That's some mafia shit, dog. It just wasn't mafia shit before. But every mafia was started trying to protect people. Every gang was started trying to protect people. The first gang being the fucking police. But still a gang.
Yeah.
FBI, still a gang. CIA, still a gang.
Yes.
Bang on you all day.
Right.
DEA, gang.
Yeah.
All that shit. Break into your house and steal your shit.
Yes. Especially them, yes.
It's criminal justice. It's not justice. It's a criminal justice system. Criminals exacting justice.
Right. Yeah.
Because America was founded by criminals. I mean, what was the whole shit that all the niggas did on that boat with the Tea Party? That shit was mad illegal, bro.
Yes.
Nowadays they would be terrorists.
Yes.
But back then they're patriots. It's, it's all propaganda. It's all the way you market shit. So it's time to market shit the way it's supposed to be marketed, which is we're all family and we all need to just act right. We all know it's right. We don't need a president to tell us to do that, but evidently, because of what we've been told and what our parents were told and they told us, it caused us to act ignorant.
Yeah.
But now, the woke generation, meaning people went to the library and read some books. Which is another reason why, bringing them back to quantum books, why I'm supporting your venture. Because knowledge is power, bro. Mm-hmm. This kind of shit is deciphering life, understanding other people's perspectives without agreeing with them is how you become enlightened.
Right.
You have to open your mind. You have to be willing to listen.
Yes.
Because if you're willing to listen, that makes the other person willing to listen to you. Mm-hmm. And then everybody is heard. The word because he created words. So you create the alphabet, that creates a word. Now I understand you. Damn, that's what you were just saying this whole time? So when my husband would hit me on the back of the head, it was just to say he loved me. He was just a caveman. Yes. Oh shit. Well damn. Now we know. And that's how we're able to understand everything. That's why that's why we're able to study medicine now.
Yeah.
Because now we can communicate our findings.
Yeah.
Before, that shit was private information with your family. That was family remedies. There was witch doctors who had that shit passed down through their family, and their family had just kept it going, so they had the most knowledge about medicine. But now we have a compendium of knowledge. We can go to Google. You can go to the library. God's knowledge in you. If you use it for good, boom. For evil, it's the devil.
Right, and you lose it potentially.
We lose it because I think it was lost intentionally. I think somebody along the way was like, this is bad. We're using this wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Atlantis was a beautiful, they didn't give a fuck about money. They only cared about principles and morals and who you are and how good of a person you are, how hard you work. It was really like that. And it makes sense that that place would be beautiful. So there would be no litter. And everybody, shit, you drop that, I got it. Don't worry. Like, everybody's like that. Everybody works out every day. Everybody eats right. Everybody's on their shit like that. It's Atlantis. They had technology. They could do all that shit. Probably had electric cars.
Yes.
But they weren't ready for that back then. Just like we're not ready for it now.
I think we're close to it. I mean, there's some people that are ready.
It's just we have to decide to be ready. Mm-hmm. It's like the threat of, I got to get as much money as I can to make sure my family is able to survive throughout time, right? And then we have this thought in the back of our head, but there's this God who really sees over everything and is going to make sure my family's good. No, that's obviously not happening. That's why we have to amass money and fight our way to. They had used it instead of just exposing that God is everything and in everything, because we now create with His knowledge. They just make you think that you can't be successful because you're not meant to be successful, because that wasn't what God intended for you. No, God intended for you to do whatever you wanted to do, and here's how to do it. And that's, you still have options now. Anything you want to do. People do it. People are serial killers and look it up on Google, how to kill people, how to do this, how to do that. But people also do that to find out how to build Lamborghinis and how to build houses out of mud and how to build wells out of nothing, out of air and evaporated air, and using that to become water and shit. It's fucking crazy, but we can use all this shit for help, but we're using it just for our own entertainment.
Yes.
And it's everybody's fault because everybody can do more to be better. So that's it. Everybody has to decide to be better. But with people, then the world will actually change. When World War II ended, they had to luckily chill out. Mussolini to chill out. It's all really up to the bottom rung to go rise to the top. Once they rise up, everybody rises up. Oh shit, we got to fuck. The criminals are fucking dressed nice and doing right. We better fucking sharpen up. That's what's gonna happen. But when, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to help that process, but that's what has to happen. Criminals have to decide to do good.
Yeah. Once
that happens, everybody's straight up. When the criminal's telling the police, you better fucking get that dude. You saw him do that shit. What's wrong with you? Then that's when they start, oh shit, you're right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But that's what it is. And that's happening slowly. Because criminals are only criminals because of before them. Most of them. Just evil. But all the traumas that are caused with people to make them criminals, all that shit is caused by greed. Somebody's family was disenfranchised because of somebody else's greed. Maybe connected, maybe disconnected to them, but it caused them to alleviate those levels, then the problems will subside. Will be fed if everybody's feeding everybody. Simple as that. When the rich people give up their riches for the poor because that's right, then we're good. I have too many Bentleys. I can give away at least 6 of these. And, shit. At least just give them away. You're right. Shit. I'll buy some more next year. I get billions of dollars every year.
Right. Yeah, but with Osho, we could have.
It's not like to put it on anybody specifically because I put that on myself. First of all, I should be a millionaire. What's stopping me from working that hard? Like I was telling you the other day, like we personally always do this to ourselves, and I'm going to put it back on me because this is what solved my problem was the fact that you can't focus on other people's problems. You have to focus on yours. So it's just that I can relate to people's problems because I had them before. I was lazy. I had a hard time getting up for work before. Who doesn't? But you have to decide to never be late again. Of course, you're still probably going to be late sometime again because life happens. But it's going to be so far and few between that everybody's going to know, damn, something happened. Let's find out. Are you okay, bud?
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be like. We're supposed to be dependable. But we're supposed to be dependable to ourselves first. And we're not. Like, we can't depend on ourselves to fucking find a job.
Right.
We should, though.
Yes.
We should be able to know that if we lose a job, you're going to get your ass up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning until fucking midnight looking for a job.
Right.
So that's just self-discipline. So about the billionaire doing that, I'm right, but I should also be the billionaire doing that shit.
Right.
So that's the problem is by starting a 501c3 that I think could make that much money so that I could help that many people. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. I mean, this is not really hard to encourage people to start a business. The hard part is them affording to start a business.
Yes.
Like, okay, so get an LLC. Perfect. That's it? That's that simple? Well, yeah, but the LLC costs money. Costs, like, just $300. That's about how much you're going to feel like you spent. Just buying the LLC.
Right.
So, that's what costs money. That's what's hard. Because you don't have $500 extra. That's what $300 the website. If you don't do it yourself, that's a thousands. So now we're talking at least $5,000 for you to start a business. So now it seems break down smaller pieces. When you choose, then you just go, okay, boom, I'm gonna get an LLC. a business you love to do, like you like to read, obviously. So it's easy for you to. You probably already have a small library at your house. More books that you love to read. So now you get money back from that from tax. But if you do a 501c3 and you're helping people realize the value of books through your company, now you're helping people and you don't have to pay taxes.
Right.
And that's good. The books is where all this knowledge is that I speak of. Everything that I'm telling you is old news. Like old. Like before Atlantis was dissolved and old. It's just that it's reborn again. That's the woke generation again because people are starting to do their due diligence. Like myself. We're looking into things that we never wanted to look into, like Satanism. Like, what the fuck exactly was that? So I found out what it was. It was just Aleister Crowley just doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do. That's it. At the end of his life, he ended up being a fucking drug addict in a halfway house, and he was like, what the fuck did I just do? You wasted your life, nigga. That's what you did. But that's what it is. That's what demonic shit is. It's wasting time. When you're on your phone doing shit, when you're worried about other people's money and shit, TikTok looking at bitches stick their booty and shit all day, and you forget to fucking pay your light bill, the devil got you. It's simple. It's simple shit like that. It's not a big conspiracy to devour your body. You are the devil, and you are God. So you, by your choices, you're to destroy yourself or to build yourself up. You know this already. Like, you know how to be healthy. We know how to eat right. Fruits and vegetables. We were told this shit from the very beginning. So God's knowledge is given to us, period. Do your math and reading, boom, you'll be good in life. We all know that shit. But we don't do it. That's when wisdom comes into play. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. Apply it to ourselves. And only to ourselves. Not like other people don't need to do it, but we need to, if we're not doing it, we can't be worried about them. Like Jesus said, if he without sin cast the first stone. Now, if you're not sinning, please correct motherfuckers. Please. Because they'll listen to you, obviously, because you're that motherfucker. You're that dude that don't do shit wrong. What's up, guy? Yeah, I know, I fucked up. Let's take it from him. But somebody who's drunk, like, you drink too much. So do you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But that's what, that has to be self-control. Because you trying to control somebody else is never going to last. Ever. And God knew that already. That's why he said, I regret ever making you. He taught the devil and then regretted making the devil. Obviously. The devil is us. Because before we knew, we were animals. Like animals, they just do to survive. Not necessarily mean or nice. Just but they're nice though. Because they're copying us. Because we're God. So that's why when you feed animals, they don't fucking have each other to eat. When they're starving and we're eating all these wonderful meals and throwing shit away in the trash can, they're scrounging for our food. They don't have to do that. We're making them have to do that. We could just be providing for everywhere all the time. We're smart enough to do that.
Yeah.
But we're wasting our time and trying. Like God gave the knowledge away. Made him God. So that's it. So that's what we have to do. So if you want to be rich like Solomon, give your money away. But you have to be giving it away to people to help people for a specific purpose. Don't just give it away and just feel like that's going to save you. Don't just give it to the church like they're going to save everybody. No. The church is you anyway. You are the church. That's what I'm doing. Through forms of art and media. And that's why it's called likeartparel.com. Because you like it. You're going to like it. And art is peril. Only things that are artistic are controversial. And it's also play on words because it's stuff you wear. So it's like apparel. But it's like apparel.com. But it's art. So it's like Artparel. And you have to get it online. because it ain't available on the store yet. But I'm working on that.
Yeah.
Shout out to ETC. But, you know, I'm working on it. I'll be working on it with people that I think deserve the chance to make money with me, which is everybody, but little guy first.
Right.
So it'll be in stores eventually. It'll be in Macy's and shit like that, but not before it's like at the corner stores.
Yeah.
There's no reason why. We buy Nike hats from the corner store. Why can't we buy Jordans from the corner store? We can buy anything from the corner store. We just have to, you know, change the ambiance of life. You know what I'm saying? The what do they call it? The level of living, or your level of, you're like just the way you want to live life. Everybody deserves to live luxuriously. Like if everywhere was nice and plush, and then everybody would have been treated like that. Like homeless people wouldn't sleep on a golden street. They wouldn't. They would go to the dirty street to sleep.
Yes.
But if there's golden streets, I guarantee you there wouldn't be homeless people to sleep on them.
Right. Yeah.
Because you'd have to employ somebody to fucking clean the golden streets, and that would be the homeless people.
Right.
And I pay them a lot because you don't want them stealing the gold from the golden streets. So it all goes into itself, and that's why you just have to just be good, the best person you can be, and hopefully that'll motivate people around you to be the best people they can be, which it does, because it rubs off. It's like yawning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's this network. I call it the psychic internet.
Mm-hmm.
Internet, and that in there for all of us as a group, like our future and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think we're definitely all connected like that. There is like a psychic internet, and it's really simpler than people think it is. It's not. You have to be able to read people's minds, but the more you know yourself, the more you know everybody else. Like, if you were a liar at any time in your life, then you can recognize a liar easier.
Yes.
If you've ever been a drug addict in your life, then you can recognize the signs of somebody suffering from an addiction of any kind. Because you can see the signs. Like, damn, you have a good job, but you're broke. You as a regular person already thinks there's a red flag. Like, that motherfucker probably doing something, or drugging something.
Right. Well, just from weed.
Or he's spending money on some female or something.
Yes.
Or something like that. Or he has another family or something. But you know, people who have been through shit can identify shit. So I wasn't perfect. He was just real with himself. He might not have done everything that he knew was wrong and saw the results, but he could see. That's how he can see into you. Because he knows you. Because he knows himself. So he can tell if you're lying without asking you if you're lying. Right? Just like a parent can tell when their child is lying. Okay, stop lying, Josh. I'm not lying, Mom. Okay, alright. God's the same way. It's not because he's so smart. It's because he's real with himself. Like, I used to lie too. Motherfucker, you're lying. Yeah. Like, you know, we can easily spot a kid because they're bad at lying, but adults think that they're better. They're really not. They just think that they're. Mm-hmm. There's still those telltale signs of a lie. I used to be a fucking horrible liar when I was a kid. I was good at lying, but I was horrible that I lied so much. That's why, now that I don't lie, it's easy for me to tell when people are lying. Like, oh, okay, come on, stop. And I don't have to go through the story of telling them how I know, but the reason why I know is because I've done that slick shit that you're trying to do to me right now. Right. I've accomplished it. I did it and it worked. You're doing it all the way wrong. Mm-hmm. So I can see it like way early. Like, okay, you're trying to hustle me. This is bad. Okay, stop, because it's not going to work. And then people don't understand, like, well, how do you know? Think less of me, but the reality is, who cares?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We've all been low. We've all shoplifted for some dumb reason, or for a good reason, in our opinion. But to be better people. And once, like Michael Jackson said, it's the man in the mirror situation. Once you, it rubs off. Michael Jackson's a good example. He did his best to be good, and still to this day is rubbing off. Look at his kids. Like you could tell by the fruit. His kids are doing amazing things. I don't know one of his kids that's a drug addict, but they might be dealing with that too. But they're also doing great things. Kind of tells you where they come from. I know his mom did a lot of the raising, but his mom raised him, so that all goes into play, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Well, I think we should probably wrap it up. I've taken a lot of your time. We've discussed a lot of your philosophy, the vision behind your nonprofit and your company and your brand. So what do you think? Do you have more to add?
Nah, I'm good. Thank you again for actually I do have something.
Okay.
But thank you again
Yes.
for having me on your show.
Right.
And because of that, I wanted to give you a gift. Okay.
Man, really? Oh shit.
Yeah, so
That's
this is
nice,
going to be
man.
a windbreaker.
Oh man.
So this is a representative of all men. It's really my son, Zay, and he's a representative of all men to me because all you have to do is stand up for yourself, stand up for what's right, and that's what that still symbolizes to me. Is when you stand up, you become something worth listening to.
Right.
And I think it applies to everybody, so that's why it's red, because all of our blood is red.
Yeah.
So this can be anybody, but in reality, it's my son. Because I want him to be the one to also be this way. But the design, the broken design, you'll see there is symbolizing that we are broken. Humanity is broken. So that's where that comes from. So, a way for me to show you my appreciation is to provide you with this windbreaker, brother.